Alright, let's continue, my friends. This is the scintillating caves. Can't remember what the lore is, but there's a lot of crystals that are corrupting the land. And they're somehow related to the spell blaze. But it doesn't really matter. We're here to kill stuff. Oh, there's a spell scar there from the spell blaze. Gives you a bonus to magic. If you're a magic user, you can stand on that terrain and it helps you a fair bit. Those crystals are kind of annoying, especially the ones, they use different type of magic. So different type of damage types. And if you look at the different physical attacks uses defense to see whether they strike you or not. Ranged attack uses range defense. Saves is mainly for these debuffs that they might put on you, but resists damage resistance against magical damage or damage of the type that they resist. Now the problem is that no matter how high my armor is, no matter how high my defense is, I believe magic always hits and you gotta use the resist. Unless it's a physical attack, then it will use the defense, it will pass through, and if that physical attack has these types of damage types, then they will reduce the damage from the attack. So resists are super important, and it's very hard in this game to get gear with good resist because you always give up something else like damage, critical rate, whatever. What's this one? Variant the black crystal. Not gonna muck around with that. We're gonna wait until our dash recharges, which it just did, and we're gonna strike. The Empire Strikes Back is dead. Alright, there's a black crystal. Now, don't actually have, you can say it does darkness damage. Don't really have any darkness, because I did say that these type of damage types are uncommon, which is true. Darkness, light, etc. And fire is probably the most common one, fire and lightning. But in this particular cave, there's a variety of all these crystals, and so there's basically a variety of all those damage types. Luckily, we are over leveled, so that's not gonna be much. Ooh, I got poison on me, I shrugged it off. It's not gonna be much of a problem. Unless we get... Kill him, that's a fire damage type, it's not a problem because I've got good fire resist. Unless we get a unique, which can screw us up. I don't see anything in here that's useful. Except confusion immunity 24% plus is good. But I don't really want to give my pinning, actually pinning and knockback is not too bad. I'd rather have confusion immunity. We're gonna equip this for now. We're gonna lose some temporal resist, but temporal guys, enemies are quite rare at this stage. And if they do show up, you're probably wrecked no matter what you do. So let's play it on the edge. Alright. Slimes, not a problem. Ah, shit. Where did he go? Okay. There used to be a time where I died in those beginning zones every single time. But no more. I still do if I play something a bit more squishy, like an Archmage. Ooh, there's a unique. We gotta make sure he's not gonna wreck us. Lethality. No. Seems like he's a bit of a thief type. We should be fine. Still gonna stun him. He stunned us. We'll remove the stun. And we'll wreck him. Okay. We now do the advance attack. Alright, anything good? No. These are pretty good. Iron shield, we can use shields. Well, we can use shields, but we don't really want to use shields. Shields is the staple of the bulwark class. A sword and board type of guy who's got a lot of these kind of shield bashes ability. It's pretty cool. Okay, this is the corruption. The crystal corruption is a crystal of the spell blaze. It's got pretty much all the different damage types. It's got immunities to almost everything. So, but he's gonna be easy at his level. We're gonna stun him anyways, because why not? Got some good item. That was an arrow, but we don't use arrows, so we don't care. Okay, research journals from the elves. I believe they belong to the faction called the Ralor, which are elves who believe magic was not that bad, and it's just been a bit misunderstood. So they are still trying to use magic around, and they're kind of like enemies of the Zigor faction. But they're not kind of spellcasters as such, they just mostly melee fighters, but they have a couple of spellcasters, but they do believe in, or the Inquisitor believed that the spell blaze wasn't the worst thing in the world. And why wouldn't they believe so? Everybody seems to be living hunky-dorily. There's no problem. As long as we kill some bears. Alright, we're done in here. This mini dungeon is gone, because we killed the boss. Alright, we got Surefire, yep, I was correct, that's what dropped. It's a pretty good bow, but not using bows. Light resistance, I'm gonna keep it for later. We don't care about that. None of this stuff is good. Alright. Okay, now we go to the Roloran camp, who I believe left all these research journals. And we're gonna kill the Inquisitor. But before we do it, we leveled up. All points in strength. We can't anymore, so into con. This is a tough choice. I can't put a point in execution. Execution basically deals damage to the enemy based on how few hit points it's got. So it's like a finishing blow. But we're not gonna grab that just yet, because we're not to that level. We don't need Shattering Blow just yet, because we've got Shattering Blow level 2 from Bill's trunk weapon that we got. So unless we switch the weapon to something else, we don't need it. Berserker Rage, you keep losing hit points, but you gain some stun and pinning resistance, and you gain accuracy and physical power. And the more hit points you lose, the more critical rate you got. It's very dangerous to use early on when you don't have a lot of hit points, so that's a no-no. Might put one in Confuse. I'm mulling it over. Yeah, we'll put 3 out of 5 in Confuse for now. Generic points, physical power. Let's max it out so we do as much damage as possible. Alright. Okay, we shouldn't have to worry too much about... There's the mage. The Roloran melee are very weak compared to us. Don't even have to use stun on them. The mages are manageable in small numbers, but even at such a low level that this is has been scaled to, they can be a trouble if they gang up on you, because they all use different magic types, lightning, fire, etc. And if you don't have the resist for that, they can rue the day, as they say, for yourself. Okay, there's a unique here, so I'm gonna put the shield. I'm gonna rush him. Oh, he's dead. Alright. Okay, these chests sometimes spawn uniques. Okay, 2 uniques at the same time. I'm gonna pop this up. Only 82 head points, so we're gonna crash him. I think this guy shouldn't be a problem. Oh, I missed. Alright. Now, this is a treasure trove. Sometimes it's got some awful thing in there, which kills you. So, I'm gonna open it up. It's usually much higher than the level of the dungeon. Okay, Skeleton Mage, there probably, I know this configuration, there should be 4 in here, but we can deal with them quite quickly. 1, then we're gonna step forward with Fearless Cleave, and then we're gonna finish this guy off. Alright, another one, another way. I'm gonna do the same thing. This time we're gonna use Death Dance. Alright. Crap, 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 crap. I'll take this for a second. Oh, we don't have any rings, so we might as well take as many as we can. Arcane Disruption, I don't want that. There's another build that people like playing Berserker, is the anti-magic build. We just got magic disruption stuff and you join the Zigo faction. Or not, okay, a random unique. Okay, that's a randart. Random artifact, 30 chances to blind, to hit. That's pretty good. Plus 16 lightning, plus 12, plus 16. Okay, the only problem here is that the armor drops substantially and the life drops substantially, but other than that, it's a very good cloth armor. But unfortunately, I don't think it's worth the loss of maximum life healing modern armor, so it's gotta go. Yeah. No. No. This isn't a bad health. Lantern. 40 life and plus 11 healing mod. We don't do as much damage anymore because when we get hit, we don't do that 10 fire damage. And we don't get as much mental save, but we do. And 6 resist the fire is not that high. But the mod and the health might actually be important for now, so we'll wear it. I think other than that, everything else is crappy, so bye bye. Alright. We get rid of the mage. What spawned? Elven mage. It's too far away. I want to attack him here. Leveled up. Not gonna increase my stats just yet. We'll just shout here. There's probably nothing can kill me anyway, so there's no point leveling up just yet. I've got the rhythm going. Alright, this could be dangerous. He's level 13, elite, so he's 1 higher than us. We somehow froze him. How did that happen? It must have been a bounce back or something. Alright, he's dead anyways. Something. Oh, yeah. There's a trap here, a freeze trap. It's triggering every couple of seconds. So that's the crux of the meta. Alright. I believe this is now the last level of the Roloran camp. None of it is too exciting. This is where we're gonna find the Executor, Inquisitor. rid of a mage. 2 Relorans, let's corner them in. Get rid of the mage. Kind of speed running it a little bit. Not really. There's someone who's actually killed the master, which is the first part of the game, in under 30 minutes. It's quite an achievement in my opinion, because this game can get a bit long. 2 mages. This guy is the Thunderstorm. He's already got a buff. Let's get rid of him. Shout. He's gone. Get rid of him. Alright, the good thing is that the Reloran Inquisitor, who's right here, I'll put shield on, is hemmed in by these doors, so you can sort of prep yourself before you even open the door and get him knocked down ASAP. Because he is not at our level, but if you get here at the tutorial, you know, at the early levels, he's got some nasty stuff like Soul Rot that does blight damage, and you're probably not going to have blight resistance by then. So, but now he's not really going to be any problem. He doesn't have any armor, so we should be able to whittle away quite easily. We got a Rod of Annulment, which is quite good, and some lore. The Rod of Annulment essentially allows you to use it on mobs to shut down 3 of the runes, infusions or talents on cooldown. So it's like a mini stun for 3 to 5 turns. It's a charm essentially, so it's gonna put it's using its power out of 30, so you're only gonna get 1 use out of it out of whatever cooldown it is, which is actually quite large. So let's put the rod in here. I like to use it to shut down folks healing, because that's annoying. You bring them down to 20%, they heal back to 100, and you're back at square one with the boss, and he's probably gonna wreck you. So this is a good way to shut them down. Okay, let's continue killing some Reloran mages. I'm gonna put the wild pain suppression. I believe we're finished. Wow, some pretty crappy weapons here, very low power. Well, at least it's extra money, which we might need. Alright, so let's just grab the last alchemist. So sometimes there's a random dungeon appearing, so you gotta explore. In each game they will appear in a different location. You gotta be careful. So for example, these the ruined dungeon, that's the procedural dungeon essentially. We can't actually go there because I believe if you go in, I mean we can go in and clear the first floor, but if we go any further, you essentially forgo your game and you just do the procedural dungeon. We're gonna ignore it. I'm gonna hope we're not gonna meet any more patrols. There's one. They could be quite good for loot and grinding, but they could also kill you. So I don't like, it's not worth taking the risk. Let's level up first. Strength, con. Actually we're not that far off from getting to 32 here. So I'm gonna drop, I can't do it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright. I wanted to get another point of thick skin. Alright, for generic points, it's time to put some into stone skin to increase armor by 15% chance to increase it by 6. This isn't that great. because you can easily get a lot of armor, and most of the problem in the game isn't the armor, which reduces physical damage, but actually the resistances to the magical types, like light, darkness, etc. And it's only 15%, and it doesn't scale. It scales alright, but it doesn't scale the percentage. But we need that to get to Power is Money, which is very good. It's a, this is the race dwarf. So these ones here are for the Berserker, some of them are shared with other classes. These are the Berserker as well. This here is the racial thing, because we chose Dwarf, so we get the Dwarf racial stuff. Power is Money, increase physical, mental and spell saves based on how much gold you possess. +1 for every 85, currently +3. So this is a very good one, and this is on the path, on the way to there, so we're gonna grab that. For class point, we of course gonna grab Execution, which is what I said I'm gonna do. Okay, now here is a quest that's quite easy, that sometimes show up. You might have to kind of move around. Maybe we are too early. Oh crap, I said never encounter the patrols, and here we are with the patrols. We gotta play it really safe now. Okay, there's one there. Stun. We didn't stun him, and he stunned us. Get rid of the stun. Confuse. What is he? Duty fighting. He's a dwarf with the Skullcracker, so you can drop our Skullcracker can confuse us. Don't know what Hack and Back is. Set up dual strike, so he's like a thief type. We're not gonna take many chances. So he did confuse us. It's time to put on. Don't have to put anything on yet. We can try and attack him. He's only on 146 hit points. Okay, he's dead. Now we're gonna go here, and we're gonna keep tapping until the cooldowns go. It seems easy, but seriously, there's 3 of them there, and if you do auto-explore and all 3 jump on you, and if they're particularly strong ones, because it's quite random, you're gonna wish you never encountered this random patrol, because you don't need it to finish the game. So I'm gonna be super careful. Alright, there's one here. He's got a lot of shielding. He's kinetic aura, skate, thermal shield, thick skin, telekinetic. Alright, so he's like a nature magician. So they're not really magicians, but they're kind of using nature as a kind of like a psi abilities. I'm gonna kind of come here. Let him come to us. Okay. Then I can put on this. Move forward. He's got the shield on, but I believe it's a kinetic shield. I don't think this is gonna drop it. We're gonna try. No, it didn't. We're gonna stun him. Is he dead? He's dead. Now we can rush the other guy. There's usually only 3, so it should be okay. We put the shield on. Execution. Didn't kill him, Execution. That's surprising. Oh, he evaded it. Evades Execution. Okay, that's annoying. That's why you need good defense. Plus halflings, I think, halfling thieves and such have the evasion skill, which gives them sometimes 20% for 5 turns to evade all blows, so. But they usually drop good loot. Not in this particular case. No. The +20 healing mod is good, but I'd rather not get. I mean, there's some point for a Berserker not to have heavy plate, because then your fatigue is less, and so your stamina regeneration and use is much more efficient, and they use a lot of stamina. So there is some virtue of using this particular one. Yeah. I don't usually play that way, but let's try. Okay, so now we've got plus 16 every turn. So that's pretty nice. Maybe there's other ways to improve our armor. Well, alright, let's go to Last Hope. Last Hope is the town, the main town. It is the so-called the capital of the Halfling and Human Alliance. The Halfling and Humans used to be at war for many years, I believe, and then they decided to join together and just fight the Orcs. Or something like that, I can't quite remember. Alright, the Last Alchemist. I usually go for 2 generic talent points. Permanently increase your armor by 4 isn't too bad either. That'll be nice, that means we don't have to wear as heavy armor as other stuff. But I usually find 2 generic talent points is usually better. Let's try something different this game. Stone Skin. Now he's gonna send us to save his wife from the crypt, but she's of course have turned into undead herself. Cliché, cliché. And we're not gonna go there because that place is a death trap. Even scale down to your level, it's still gonna be about 10 to 15 level higher than what we are, so... That's a good regeneration infusion for 212. Nah, ours is 213, same. So we've already visited here before. This shop is closed until you save the shopkeeper. He's got some exotic items. Well, I think we've covered all of the starting areas except one, which we will do really quickly. It'll take us about 10 minutes, I believe. It's these ruins of Corpool. We should be able to rack it. It's very similar to the Reloran Camp map, except sometimes the Reloran Camp has a different alt mode, where it's more like in the forest. Not forest, but like an encampment sort of area. Okay, here there's just been a guy who's... either he's trying to become a necromancer or whatever, I don't really care. I've played it so many times. The lore is actually alright. It's just been written by different authors, and it doesn't have a super coherence to it. Like, there's no... it doesn't seem like there's a consistent kind of coherence to it. It's like a smorgasbord of things, which is actually quite fun when you play it, because you get to it's different things every time. It's not the same story for each of these zones, but it just makes you harder to remember it, what it's all about. It's not congruent, I guess is what I wanted to say. But if you play this game for the story, oh boy. Not a good idea. This is the first game that I'm actually playing with a leather armor. I usually go plate, but if it gets me a good stamina regeneration, if I can get some more armor from other sources, I don't mind. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. The rogue blinded us and slowed us. We can remove some of these conditions and stun us as well. Okay, it's time to... Actually, we can kill him. And then we're just gonna confuse this guy. Okay, we're asleep. Alright, he's dead. Oh, he didn't die. That bastard. Alright. Yeah, if you don't have a good... That's why I wanted to save the escort to get piercing sight, which makes it easier to see these guys, or even if not to see them, to spot where they are, kind of like the half-invisible element of them. Alright, it's a golem, which means this guy... Golem power, it's kind of an alchemist. Let's quickly kill the golem, rush him. Alchemists can be, or summoners in general can be quite dangerous if that was any other dungeon. But this is still the starting area, so we kind of over level for it, but after that it's gonna get hard and quick. Interesting. So this is only slightly less damage than Bill's trunk, but it does light and mind damage, plus 12 against undead, critical chance plus 9, plus 4 to defense, resistance 9, and teleport immunity. That's not a big thing. And we can put a mind attack with 1d50. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Bill's trunk only gives us armor penetration, and that's pretty much it. It uses 130% of strength. This uses 120%. But overall, more crit, more damage from light and mind and against undead, and defense and lightning resistance. I'd have to say, I'm gonna have to wear that. Now we do. It doesn't mean that we're gonna lose. I want to grab that hat. No. It doesn't mean, however, we're going to use the crashing blow thing that removes the possibly the temporary armor that the guys can put on. But we can put skill points in it. It's a bit of a waste. I might just put one skill point there. Stunning blow. But I think the extra damage from what we're wearing is just too good. And not a lot of guys have resist for these types. Plus, you can always use this charm that it's got. 164 mind damage. Jeez Louise, let's try it again. 80 mind damage with some lightning. It's almost as good as using a weapon straight off. It's probably better. I kind of like it. Now the problem with charms and all these things that are on weapons and whatnot that aren't infusions and runes is if you put it one charm on cooldown, they all go on cooldown. Whereas with these runes, the cooldown and saturate and these infusions and runes, they're individual, so you use them. Let's say I'll use a wild, it only cools down a particular one, but I use a charm, they all go, so... Okay... Alright, so that's not a charm, it says charm rod, it's not an actual charm. This actually does say putting all charm on cooldown, but only for 6 turns, so it doesn't put them... So each charm will put other charms on cooldowns, and it'll be different for each charm, so it's quite an interesting system there, but I haven't particularly used it much. Now if you come here at lower level, ooh, confused. That's alright, we can still stun him. I didn't expect him. Oh, they're possessed. So this is an alternate version where he's in here, but there's another version where he's in an open corridor, and so there's a lot of opportunity for him to freeze you. He's a kind of a freezing mage. So you gotta be really careful here, and especially have some good, I believe, cold resistance. We're over leveled, so we don't particularly care. We can probably confuse him. Hit him for a couple of times. He stunned us, we remove the stun. We stun him back. Is he really dead? He's not dead, he teleported away. There he is. We'll use Death Dance. Still stunned. We'll cleave ahead. And then we'll execute. And now he's dead. Ah, he dropped the sludge things. Sludge grip. It's a pretty interesting glove. One thing I want to do is I'm going to get rid again of Bill's tree trunk. I'm just going to drop it here. So we can switch to it. I'll just show you what happens when you switch weapons. So I switch to it. So this weapon here disappeared. Now I've got the new weapon, that's fine. But it's going to get me like freaking 19 turns until I get the power from it. Now let's switch to this weapon. It did it immediately. That's because this is a charm and it's on its own charm cooldowns. So that's kind of like how you do it. But I much prefer what I've got right now than Bill's trunk. But Bill did take us through the early game. And that's it, we're done. And now the real game begins. Now Sludge Grip, pretty okay if you're into... This is a good weapon for an Uzumancer, which is a class that you have to unlock, which is kind of hard to do. And he's, like I said, he gives you a talent mastery, so it gives you plus extra points in the categories in your talents. But we don't play Uzumancer, so we don't care. None of this interests me, actually. Yeah, we're gonna chuck it all. And that's it. Let's just level up. Points into here to get thick skin. Now from now on, it no longer gives 3%. It now gives 2.8% per point. So we might no longer put thin skin. Now I usually like to put the point in execution, another one, because it gives you an extra 40% for the finishing blow. So that's quite useful. So I'm going to do that. And strength. Let's check our stats quickly. Our attack, crit chance is 11, quite low, but it's gonna get around 60 to 60 around the mid game. I mean, hopefully. Armor penetration is 7, that's what bypasses armor. Accuracy is alright for our level. Our problem really lies with defense. 7 is very low, armor 12 is very low. Hardiness 30% is not very good. And our mental saves is terrible, which is why we keep getting confused over and over and over again. But our resistances, they're kind of alright. Lightning at 20, I like to get it to 30, but we've got some items we can switch around. And we've only got confusion, teleport, whatever. Not many creatures will teleport you, but confusion resist 24 is not the best. But it's on top of the mental resist, so if we fail the mental, we got this. Not the best, the loot hasn't been kind to us, but we haven't died yet. And this is the end of mostly of the starting dungeon. There's a couple of things to pick here and there, but we'll continue later, towards the mid-game. We're still alive.